good evening and welcome to Spark of Light Spiritual Chat Show. My name is Alice Trevorrow. I'm a spiritual medium and psychic and producer of the show. And tonight I'd also like to welcome our lovely host who will be working with me tonight, and that is spiritual physical medium Judith Miller. So hi Judith, how are you, darling? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You had a busy week last week, but a nice week.
I've had a very busy week. I've been to see my daughter in Eastbourne, and it was really nice. It was lovely, and and I was doing a little bit of work as well while I was down there, spiritual charity work. So it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed myself there. But yeah, do you know it's you don't realise, do you, when you're well, I should realise I've been doing it long enough. When you're driving, you know, and all that distance to London, you know, I mean, it took us like nearly 9 hours to get there, you know, so we always stop halfway. It's such a long journey, you know, but yeah, you know, all that journey, and yet you can just fly in a plane and be there in an hour and a half. You know, it's good. You know, I know they say, you know, some people might be frightened of flying, but my gran used to always say only birds were meant to fly, but you know.
You know, I don't mind flying.
You know, and I think my husband's got that same approach, but you know, I don't think you could do without it though. I think it's brilliant. You know, I really notice such a difference, you know, when you fly to driving. So yeah. So it's been great.
Our daughter, we're big. I love Christmas. I just love Christmas.
Yeah, so do I.
Our daughter had put up on her Facebook, if you're stuck for anything to get me for Christmas, a window seat, as in a plane ticket wherever, or like she would put on the craziest of places. But you know, I actually spent this week really in depth with spirit. I really enjoyed it. I've been really, I'm at it again. I got new Lemurian star child.
Lovely.
88 cards and the Lemurian seed crystal.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, I'll need to find a good card shop when I'm down the next time, because I would like to you know, have sometimes yeah, you want to pick your own cards, you know, it's because you get that feel of it, don't you?
I when I go over to Liverpool, over to our daughter, I always come back with new cards.
I know you do.
No,
those were lovely cards you bought the last time. They were great. Yeah.
The was that the Atlantis ones?
The Atlantis ones. They were beautiful. They were really nice. But anyway, talking about cards and spirit and you know all the things that you and I love. Yeah. And our guest tonight is Jordan Richards. And I just found out tonight that he is actually originally from Scotland, although he lives now in England. But he's originally from Scotland, so I didn't know that until tonight. So I've got another Scottish trooper on with me tonight, so that'll be really nice.
I might numbers.
Yeah, so Jordan is a spiritual medium. He's also a psychic, and he's a certified card reader of tarot, oracle cards, etc. He's also a spiritual coach, a Phoenix spiritual coach, healer and mentor, and a certified transformational life coach as well. Jordan is also a presenter of SPTV and serves as a crystal Reiki master, and is also a practitioner. And to extend a little bit further, he also serves what is that? Moonology. Yes, moonology he does. And we'll find out we'll find out a little bit more about that. And it's also backed with these with more certification from Hay House online courses. And he also does Akashic Records, which I'm quite interested in as well. And I hope I'm
healing.
Yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Arcturian healing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you heard of that, Judith?
I love light language. I love all about Arcturians.
Right. Okay. I'll need to look
really, Yeah, I look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah. I know a little bit, but not much about it. So I'm quite interested in finding out a little bit more about that. And why not just let's get Jordan on. Let's get him on the show and let him tell us all about Jordan.
Good evening, Alice. Good
evening, Jordan.
What an intro. What an intro.
Yeah, once I start, I don't know how to stop.
No, that's
we try not to leave anything out.
As we should.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So right. So let's start with you are from Scotland. Okay.
I'm originally from the west coast of Scotland, Ayrshire. I moved to England almost 30 years ago now. So I've been in England for 30 years, not necessarily Manchester, but I've been in the surrounding areas of Manchester, Greater Manchester, Yorkshire, that kind of thing. Not mainly the north for the last 30 years. I've had a small stint in Birmingham with work, which was, secondment placement, the same in London. So I've been a little bit all over the place in my younger years, but Manchester's been home for coming up on 15 years now. So I've been based in Manchester permanently for the last 15, 16 years. Yeah.
Whereabouts in Yorkshire did you stay? Because I
just in West Yorkshire. I spent a little time in Bradford. So yeah, just over the 10 hours.
So you'll know Skipton then. You'll know Skipton.
I do know Skipton, yes.
Yeah. I stayed there for a little time. Stayed in Skipton. But it was lovely. It was a lovely place, a really beautiful place.
It's nice because it's just like it's just out, isn't it? And it's enough to kind of give you the best of both worlds, as I say.
Yeah. I don't know what it's like now. I mean, I was there a few years back. I've been there a couple of times actually, and it seemed the same. I mean, there were still similar places there, but there was a lot of vast amount of new places there as well, so I was like a bit lost with it, but that's life, isn't it? You just keep transforming and changing and growing.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's a shame really, because Skipton's always been, as it is with many places, very rural, quite a compact local community. And I think really we should be protecting that type of thing rather than kind of just expanding, because we're actually ruining our own natural history. And
the same thing is actually happening here where I live as well. We've got lovely land here as well, and I've just found out there's a whole load of houses now going on it. I know we need houses, but we also need our trees, our land as well. Or before you know it, we'll just be living in a built-up area everywhere.
There is green belt. We've got green belt here where they're not allowed, in the country, in a lot of different places you're not allowed.
Yeah, there is green belt. There is, but I think that the majority of it is, I don't know. There seems to be
that balance.
Yeah. Right. So, just carrying on a little bit. Now, I know you are a medium, and I also know that you do your tarot and your oracle cards as well.
Yeah.
Now, I was just reading a little bit there where you actually did some training with Hay House.
Yes, I'm fully certified through Hay House, obviously in relation to tarot, oracle, and moonology. So the tarot is obviously most of the recognised people like Colette Barrett, Kyle Gray, Natalie Valentine, all of these big names are all part of that Hay House tarot course. The oracle was obviously more kind of like Radley and more Kyle Gray, because they're obviously more into the oracle side of things as well.
Yes, that's right.
I've done one of his courses, Radley Valentine.
Yeah.
The Angel Tarot.
Yeah.
So nice.
I've got his cards somewhere. Yeah. Kyle, he's from Scotland as well.
Yeah, just outside Glasgow, on the surroundings.
Yeah, that's right. I can remember him when he was a young boy, going out. You know, he's been in it for a long while too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and I remember him when he was younger. Even although I was down here, obviously visiting back home regularly and what have you. And it was like, oh, have you seen this young man? And he was all in like the Daily Record and all this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
My gran was a medium. Bless her. She's no longer here, but I mean that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, we all have that. You know.
She's here. She's here. She's saying hello.
Yeah. Always. Yeah, it's funny actually because when I'm talking spiritually or I'm doing mediumship, she's always there. People see her and go, "Who's the old lady with you?" Like, oh, that's Gran. So that's quite interesting as well. But yeah, I mean, she was like, "Oh, he's got such a gift, and he's going to go on to do great things, and all this, you know, the way they should do, you know." And I was just like, "All right." She went, "And it's a shame you gave this up, you know, because I mean, like, obviously, I saw my granddad when I was 3 years old, which is obviously her husband." And then when I went and spoke to her about it, she was like, so it's been passed to you, has it? She taught me when I was younger, and it was all like, you know, the back room and all this sort of stuff.
That's a similar story to mine.
Taught me so much in my younger years, which is then obviously, you know, kind of like built from that going forward. But as we all do at certain times, life takes over in the physical. You go off, you work for the said company or whatever. You've still got your spiritualism, but you may not be doing obviously like spiritual mediumship or psychic work or whatever. I've always had it and I've dipped in and out of it, but it's only in the last kind of like 13 years that I've really started to kind of like, you know,
pull back in again. Pull back in. I was the same. My gran was a medium as well, but it was all done behind closed doors. And my grandfather had passed when I was only, I think I was only about 2 at the time, so I don't really remember him, you know, but I know him because I used to talk to him, you know, and I feel I know him as if he was alive here on earth, you know. Do you know? So they told me the stories later on, you know, that I used to come in and say, "Oh, granddad's here," you know, or I'm laughing, I'm saying, "Granddad," you know. And then when I got a bit older, I would tell them stories about granddad, and then they knew. Then, oh well, you know, here we go, here we go, you know. But so I know probably Judith, you're probably
I have to be honest, I'm the opposite in the sense that my grandmother's always here. Everybody else say to me, "Is your grandmother with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we spend more time now that we talk."
Yes.
Instead that she's in spirit, we didn't get on the earthly plane. But hey, we get on now. We really do get on well. I actually said to my mum, that's my mum's mum, I actually said to my mum, "Would you believe I get on better with Granny now than I did when she was on the earthly plane?" And she goes, "Yeah, your Granny wouldn't have been into any of that." And I went, no, but she is now. You know? But it's fun in the sense that I can remember the real strict lady. Children, they don't be seen that they don't get hurt, or you know, it's like, don't move, just sit there, don't move. And she was really, really strict. Whereas now she comes through and she'll say to me, you know, "Judith, you need to go down and give your mum a shout, or you need to go and do it." And now she's very much, do you know, I have to say, she came forward when we made her peace. She apologized and made her peace. And I respect that too. So as much as a joke, she has a good sense of humor, I have to say. She has a good sense of humor.
Well, see who you got that from then.
It's Irish in me. What can I say?
But sorry. I don't know if you were going to say the same as me, but I'm really interested about moonology.
That's what I was going to ask. Yes, we're on pair.
So the moonology course is obviously a recognised spiritual person herself, Yasmin Bolin. So you may have come across that name. She's very much into working with the divine feminine, so it's all to do with the moon and the cycles and how that governs us. And to give you kind of like, I mean, you probably know this, but like when you think that the body is made up of 70% water, and the moon governs the tides, and you kind of can link, on a spiritual level and on another level, you can link the cycles of the moon as to how it affects your mood. So like my sister's a mental health practitioner, right? And she always turns and says, when there's a new moon, she says, honestly, she says, it's as if somebody's like flipped that switch, and people with severe mental health
that's right, yeah.
So,
especially
after she
whoa.
As much as she loves working in A&E and helping them through their assessment and the diagnosis and all that sort of stuff, she goes, oh my goodness, she says, people just don't understand the energies, because I mean she's very spiritual herself, but she stuff like that. She does a lot of it within what she does for work. But the course Moonology with Yasmin is about obviously working, we can all bring in spirit, we can all bring in like, working with different energies, the deities, the gods, and all that. But she's wanting you to connect with like the different galaxies, the moon energy herself, then like taking it to like, you can tap into Lemuria, you can tap into Orion, you can tap into Cyrus. Everything's there for us, but we just don't have the knowledge. And even although there is knowledge there, it's probably only about 1% of what we actually know within the whole galaxy or the cosmos, depending on how you view it. But honestly, if anybody's interested in that course, just wait to Black Friday, and it's half price normally. That's when I bought it. Because it's quite expensive. I think it's about 400 quid actually, and obviously that's not great for everybody's pocket, but I think I got it for about 200 quid, something like that. But it's really, really enjoyable. Tells you how to connect with Mother Earth, tells you how to connect with obviously the divine feminine and the moon energies, work with the cycles, and then obviously linking that to kind of like more spiritual stuff. It's like letting go once the moon is starting to wane. So once the moon is waning, you're letting go of something that doesn't serve you, you're setting all that intention. You can do it through different rituals and all that sort of stuff. We won't bore you with all those details, but it's in the course. And then in the new moon, you're setting those new intentions for the next 28 days cycle. So you should be constantly letting go, bringing in, and doing that ebb and flow, as we know ourselves, but it's working with divine feminine energy, which is fantastic, because when you call upon it and you feel that energy through that intention, it's quite something else.
The moon really affects us on our shadow self.
Yes.
The sun is very good because it's the light, the bright part of us. Yeah. And then the moon is the shadow self. But, you were talking about Lemurian. I'm just sitting here holding I got a Lemurian seed crystal. I've been really Lemurian this week, and I got my cards. And so you were talking about, everything that's around us and the different dimensions. And Spirit kind of showed me a little bit of that, where literally it's the set in your intention. You set, you're there, you go. It's instant. And like they took me to Lemurian, and everything is like instant in Lemurian. It was amazing to see. But it's nice to hear you talk about the different dimensions and about how there is how we can access those. And what's your experience on that, Jordan?
I think, obviously there's a couple of things within my bio that I haven't told you, because obviously I'm just exploring them. So I've just become a certified astral surgeon. So, and that's through obviously the fact that I do astral projection, I do astral, while I'm sleeping. So there's that side of it as well, and it kind of links with a little bit of shaman work and things like that I'm starting to get into, because I've actually had my star seed report done, and it's like all these connections, and it was like, oh, you're this and you're this, and it actually says on one of it says, because I've got a link to let me get this right, my goodness, right, let me get it right. Sirius, I think it's Sirius, because I've got a direct link to Sirius. I mean, I'm made up of different cosmic elements, but obviously, as we all are, but I've got a stronger pull to Sirius, which is actually proof that you should be doing what you're doing now. So it's about mediumship. So like that blew me away when I read the report. But then Lemuria comes in, Mintakia comes in, you know, all these different aspects. And then you think, oh my goodness, that makes more sense. That's why I'm drawn to that. That's why I'm drawn to this. This is why I'm doing this. So it's just interesting from that point of view. But linking with the cosmos, even going beyond the moon, you know, yeah, you can, you know, I teach mediumship as well, actually, but, you know, and the oracle and the tarot and all that sort of stuff. But I always say to people, look, you need to start with self. Start with your own energy. Understand your own energy. Once you start with that and you expand that, and then you start understanding how the different energies are coming in, and then how you blend them with your guides, and you know it's a guide, and you get used to that, then you should be advancing them to bring spirit in, etc. And then you kind of work on whether it's, you know, male, female, and you get the descriptions and all that, depending on how you work. You know, you can just sit in meditation and set that intention. And I want to just say with meditation, it's not about music, guys. Yeah, meditation is about going into the silence. It's whatever suits you. You can have rock music on if that's your thing, and that's how you can do it. Depends. Don't always go for like the generic stuff. Do what your soul's asking you to do. That's really important. But just sit in that stillness, I would say. Set the intention either 3, 6, or 9 times. Obviously, universal codes there. And then from that, you know, just say, right, oh, I'd like to link with Lemuria. You start that, you feel that Lemurian energy coming in straight away. You know, for example, as soon as you start saying that intention the first time, it gets stronger and stronger the more you say it. And then they start showing you like what Lemuria is all about. And like, I commit to it sometimes, and I'm like, oh, why am I crying? Why am I crying? All this, but it's because you're connecting with that you know, that scarf side of yourself, and it's healing. I mean, and I believe that, you know, when you're a medium, you know, you're not only just serving like God and, you know, the sitter, the parent, you know, whatever word you want to use there. When you're being entrusted with communication from spirit, you're healing yourself through those messages as well as the person who's the recipient. So it's always a journey, and you've always got to, you know, as the medium, go back, look at the message that you've given. If you've not understood something, go back, learn it, then move forward, and they'll keep giving you more and advancing you. So, you know, that's how I teach. And I'm lucky enough that, you know, I've got people that do come to me and go, the way you teach, nobody teaches like that. And I'm like, that's because I let spirit come close to me in order to teach. It's not me that's teaching you. I'm the vessel.
Yeah. That's right.
That's
right. Yeah.
It is true.
Judith and I we're the same. We work the same way. And I always say spirit is our teacher, you know, and we're all students of life. You know, we're all students, you know. You know, so it's a continual learning here and in the afterlife as well, you know.
Yeah, we are a team. You know, I always say it's not us, it's the team, it's the teamwork. You have a full team around, and that full team is working, and we're all working together. So it's like we're all that piece of the puzzle, but we are together, we are that puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we're also animal instinct as well, though. You know, so it's keeping yourself away from the negative side of life as well, and the animal instinct that's there too, of aggression and, you know, being just for yourself sort of thing. You know, instead of being more open and spiritual as for, you know, get yourself out the road a little bit here and start thinking for other people too, because it's not all about us, you know. And I think there's more love in the world and more about, you know, how does that affect that other person, or could I have done something different? What did I do there? Look at yourself, grow from it, you know, then I think the world would be a lot better. But unfortunately, we've got a mixed team of people, so we have to kind of share that love and hope that one day it excels and we can grow with that love.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just on like, I mean, I used to be a retail manager, so I'll give you an example of this: retail psychology, right? So, and it kind of, I link it to the three bottom chakras, so red, orange, and yellow. So keeps you in the lower vibrations, because once you come to your heart space, you're working with your true self and all that sort of stuff. And if you look at all the marketing that's out there, what are the predominant colours? Red, orange, and yellow. They may be on different backgrounds, like a blue background, whatever. So take like a Mars bar. It's predominantly a black wrapper, but Mars is in red with like a gold edging.
Yeah.
So psychologically, you're automatically attracted to the fact that Mars, the name, is highlighted, and it keeps you in a lower vibration. It's full of sugar. It's bad for you. McDonald's, the golden arch with the red. It's all food. It's not good for you. It fills you up quickly, but you've not had a proper meal, because it's not a good source of, you know, food, basically, because it's all processed and it's quick food in an instant. But it's interesting when you look at that, you know, what we actually are and what we actually consume. You know, you've got Subway, for example, so they've got green in the logo. So that's all about the salad and all that you're having it. But actually, if you're not just having a salad sandwich, you've got processed meatballs, processed meats, and all the rest of it, cheeses, etc. So it's all linked to these, you know, it's fear, it's all like all of that sort of lower vibrational food. So when you're consuming it, it does affect you on that individual frequency. So I've always found that interesting, personally myself, because the world that we live in is, you know, I know that obviously that like other people are turning and say, you know, your reality is you make your reality. I agree with that, but at the same time, when it's so visual, through visual marketing, all sorts of like, you think about it, you're constantly taking in messages all the time through social media, television, all the rest of it, and it's going into your subconscious. Exactly. So this is it. So you're automatically being pulled to, you know, McDonald's, and then you wonder why you're a fast food eater. But it's because you're allowing it to consume you, and you need to step away from it.
You know, you talk about, you know, in the retail, and it goes much bigger than that, doesn't it? It goes so much bigger than that we don't realize that in everyday life. Like we talk about, you know, the rules that we're brought up with, how we're conditioned. That's tiny. That's literally tiny to actually how much we are affected by every single thing we hear and see. And it's all done exactly as you said. It's done to train us into that, keeping at that kind of that vibration, you know, and kind of traps you, doesn't it? Just to trap you into that vibration. So it does. Oh, you're speaking my language.
I mean, without people knowing, you know, like if you're eating foods with logos, for example, that are yellow based, red based, or even like got that orangey tone in it, you know it's bad for you, but you want to consume it anyway. I'm not saying don't consume fast food. I mean, I like fast food myself every now and again, but I don't eat it on a regular basis. I have it like maybe once every 3 months as a bit of a treat, because I think, oh, I love a KFC, for example. You know, but you know, who doesn't? You know, it's just the gravy that does it for me. Sorry, it's the gravy that does it for me. It's not even the chicken; it's the gravy. So, you know, It is one of them, but you're right. You know, when you think about how that is, you know, that animal, if you take it back into olden times, and it's a lot more spiritual, and you can kind of link it with obviously more kind of like modern ways and ethical ways. So if you take like halal food, it's all done in the sort of like, you know, the older fashion, where the animal is properly sacrificed because it's needed to obviously help us, because we need it for food, subsistence, all that sort of stuff. Whereas we just slaughter animals for the sake of it. And then when you actually look at what we're actually eating and what we're dumping because it's not being sold, again, this links back to my retail history. We're dumping millions of like, tons of raw food that isn't eaten, so we're overproducing. But actually, if we sorted that out, we wouldn't be going down this road of genetically modified stuff, which is becoming a big thing, and that's scary actually. You know, like pumping food full of synthetic hormones to, you know, make chickens bigger. You know,
it's I actually seen a video. It wasn't chickens, but they were alive. But these weren't. It was the way they were like mass, you know, producing, and it was wrong. It was it was very wrong. But even color therapy and what we wear, we don't realize even, you know, the colors that we wear and why we wear them and how they affect our moods. And it's amazing, you know, when you go into it in depth. You know, I think it's hard once you start. It's like, once you see, you can't unsee.
Yes.
That's the way to put it. Once you see, you can't unsee.
Yeah, 100%. And they'll show you one aspect of it, and they'll go, "Oh, there's a door opening here," and then you get absorbed into that, and then you start moving into other things. This is why obviously I have a variety of skill sets, obviously, which you mentioned. And I'm just a bit like, I'm bad because I'm like, oh, I've learnt that. Okay, yeah. And then another door opens and I want to go. You know, but, you know, I mean, I would say to people, obviously, you know, along their own path, you know, just trust your own intuition. Just, you know, just don't jump on something. This is from something that I've learned, you know. A spirit really, really want you to do something. Just wait for it to be repeated several times. If they really, really want you to do something, it will automatically synchronize several times. And then it's like, I've been given that like 3-4 times now. Yeah. And again, if I like that to kind of like the universal codes, 369 and all that sort of stuff, so frequencies. So I'm getting it 3 times. I'm like, so that is something I need to explore rather than just. Because I think we sometimes want to do it, but actually we're just like too impulsive. And I think that happens with a lot of people very early on their journey. So you know.
Yeah, and it's also there's not wanting to say no to things as well early on in the journey. And I'm learning more now. I think as I'm getting older that I can't say yes to everything, whereas before I said yes to absolutely everything, and then was so exhausted and drained, and it does affect your health, you know. But I don't now. I'm more, you know, well, actually, I can't really do that because I'm taking too much on board. Whereas before I would have took everything on board, you know, because you were frightened to say no, you know. But
you didn't want to offend.
As you go older, you change your mind, and also your priorities change as well. It changes as well. And I was a bit like you as well. I wanted to learn everything. I wanted to get all my qualifications. I couldn't get enough of it. It was the hunger was so passionate. Right now, I feel my place is more now, doing what I'm doing and spending more time with my family. You know, whereas prior to that, my family were lucky they seen me because I was whoosh in and out.
But it does get really busy, and when you're in the thick of it, you don't always see just how deep and how busy, you know, you go, and then It's not until you step back and go, gosh,
Spirit pull you back.
Yeah.
They pull you back. It's like, well, you're not listening here. You know,
yeah, they'll find a way to pull you back. Yeah,
plenty of signs that you're not listening to us. You know, and you've got other stuff you want you to do, but you're too tired. You won't be able to do it. So, yeah. So, what I wanted to ask though was the Arcturian healing. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit more about that, please, to the listeners who would not have a clue of what that actually is?
Yeah. So, it involves so once you learn how to do it, basically you connect through a specific chant, which is a light code, in order to bring in that energy to work with it. And once you've got that, if I'm doing a session with, let's say, one of you, I would send you a Arcturian symbol manual. There's a short description under each sacred code. Yeah, so it's like a picture. It's geometrical, and it'll tell you what that symbol does. So let's just say it'll be like, in order to kind of like release and let go of stuff that you don't know that needs to be let go of. So you would choose that symbol, and then obviously there'll be another symbol where it'll be like, you know, help me to connect more divinely with my higher self. So it's letting other stuff go. There's basically 28 symbols, okay, in short. During each session, the client picks 4, and you only work with a maximum 4. You can work with less if you want and just focus on 1. But I always say to somebody, you're better off picking the 4, because then it's actually balancing you out. Because if you're just working with 1, it can be a bit too much. So some of the reviews that I've had with regards to it is that they've turned around and said, oh my goodness, I saw intergalactic beings coming around me, like poking and prodding me, and I felt all this like high super like energy around me. I know that they were still working on me like several days after the healing, and I'm like, yeah, but I did warn you of that, you know. So like they can work on the person, even although I'm channeling it within, you know, that hour session. The energies don't just dissipate within that hour; they will stay with that person, and the frequency will just automatically die down naturally. So over a period of 3 to 5 days, normally, that person will be like, oh my goodness, I feel so better, and all the rest of it. You know, but I let them pick the symbols. I don't pick them, because I've done that before. You can do it, but I always say to them, you know, I can pick them for you, but it's better that you actually read it, pick it, because then intuitively you'll pick the right ones. The problem is with that is you get a lot of clients going, oh, well, I don't know what 4 to pick. But then that creates obviously them going, oh, right, okay, once they've experienced the first session, it's like, oh, well, I've done those first symbols, so actually I'd like another session with another 4 different symbols. So, I mean, you know, it creates better business, you know, so you've got returning clients. But I mean, I've done it myself, because you can do it on yourself. And the energies that stay with you, and some of the information that you get as well, if you're you know, more susceptible to it as like a spiritual medium, you'll obviously receive stuff a lot quicker than somebody who's not as open, let's say. So that's always interesting. But yeah, it's connecting with the higher 5 dimensionals. Arcturians are 7-dimensional beings, so you know, they won't work with us anything above the 5, because the 5D is where we're going. So anything above that would be too strong for us and too much of a jump, because basically we live in work in the 3rd dimension, so we can skip the 4th and go to the 5th. Even although they're 7-dimensional beings, and that's why those 28 symbols at the minute are just for the 5D. But I know from what I've seen and what I've been given, there'll be another 28 symbols coming once we move into the 5th dimension. So that'll take us to the 7th dimension. So it's just. Sorry, what were you saying?
It's I love it's fascinating listening and hearing all about about the different. I know there's so many different light languages, and we talk about we can all universally light language. And do you do light language?
I've done a little bit because I'm doing a little bit of like trance work. I'm only just starting my journey really with that. I have done it before. I've left it. I've focused on other things, and I've now gone back to it. So
I find you do go back to it though. You do go back to it.
Yeah, so I seem to be kind of like getting pulled back into it, and there's like a little bit of light language coming back in again, and I think that's because I've opened the door with the healing side of it, with the actuarians, and then obviously I've got the astral surgery side of things as well now. So and that's fairly new. So there's a little bit of light language that comes in with that as well, which is interesting. So yeah, they're definitely kind of going, oh right, okay, you're here, let's move you to here.
It's really trusting and relying, even though it's like you say, it's new, and it's trusting to be guided and let them guide you, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, I mean, obviously you'll know what an open circle is. I'm sure a lot of people know what an open circle is in relation to mediumship and stuff like that. I run an open circle like once a week, during the week, and people always come in and they go, oh my goodness, the energy in here is just like off the charts. And I'm like, right, okay. And then they'll turn in and go, why do we get so many like intergalactic messages coming through and all the rest of it? And I'm like, just sat there. Yeah, that's because the relevant people in this group are supposed to be in this group because of the vibration of the group, because obviously Spirit wanted to change their path. So it's not just about, oh, we've got a spirit communicator here, it's mom, it's dad, whatever, and bringing that energy forward. They're actually going into the cosmos and bringing intergalactic messages forward. So I just find it really interesting how we're moving forward with regards to different modalities within mediumship itself, really, as well.
Yeah, it's really modernising and updating, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
What about the Akashic records? How far have you got into that?
So I've done a lot of my own Akashic records. I've done a little bit with a few other people. So I mean, there's a few different people that I've come across, and they're like, oh, you can't go into the Akashic records like that. You've got people that sell courses, and I'm not taking anything away from them. Obviously, we all have our own training in order to kind of help somebody to get to that vibration, in order to kind of like, go into that. But I would just say, once you learn the foundation of it, trust yourself. Once you've got that additional training from whoever you've got it from, trust yourself, because everything that you know or you should know is within. Yeah. So the trick is to be able to free yourself to go deeper and deeper within in order to connect. And again, obviously, that's taking you up into the cosmos, and you can go to the Akashic records and go, well, actually, I want to know what starseed I am, or I want to know why this repetitive pattern's happening. And then they'll start going, right, okay, it's linked to this past life. They start giving you information in relation to the dates, who you were, name-wise, what you did for a job, all that kind of like what you'd expect to come through in a mediumship message, but they're doing it individually with you. If that person's not able to do that, obviously, then I'm the person, or other people like me are the person that literally like connects, brings that information forward. I also use a Pacific Akashic deck that I've got on my wall up there, just to kind of like start and build the energies. So I'll say, would you understand why I've got this card with you? Explain the card. So it's a little bit like tarot, starting off on the kind of psychic vibration, but then building up and then going up. And they'll see me like just literally drop as I'm going up. Sometimes people come through in a little bit of trance.
It's good to have the freedom, as you say, to have the foundations, and maybe someone or other people help with those foundations. But like you say, you found a way that works for you. Yeah, in your own style, in your own way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I kind of like moved into, you know, different modalities, whether it's the Acturing healing, obviously the astral's fairly new, so that there's other kind of star seeds, if you like, starting to come in there. But also with the trance, you'll know yourself, or have seen it, that you have, you know, people that have been here that want to come through you and work with you in trance, but you can also have the higher beings from the other galaxies wanting to come through, talk light language, bring through divine knowledge that's been lost through civilization, through man doing what they've done in the past, etc. So I just find that interesting, and I don't limit myself. I just say to them, look, I'm open to do whatever you want me to do. And at the end of the day, I know I've got free will. So if I don't want to do something, I just say, that's not for me. And that's what I did with trance before. I was like, no, I'm not ready for that yet. I just didn't feel that I was ready to open that door. And then about a year later, as I was moving into that kind of energy to move me there, I was like, okay, just slowly open the door then. So that you just need to trust your inner voice, really, don't you? But can I answer that question that's kind of
yes, like... I was just going to say to you, Mary...
on the screen, I'm like...
yeah, I was waiting till you finished. I didn't want to interrupt you.
So
but Mary asked the question, what is an intergalactic message?
So I would hope that you would understand what a starseed is, that basically we are built up of light, we are built up of stardust, whatever way you want to call it. And when you go into what I called earlier on, your starseed chart or your intergalactic chart, you'll understand that where the stars were aligned, over and above your normal astrology chart, which is just the basics, you've got your sun, your moon, your ascendant, etc., which make up your personality. When you go beyond that and you look at, oh, Lemuria was in your 5th house, etc., and it goes beyond. So there would be a connection to Lemuria, there would be a connection to Mintakia, etc. Once you start tapping into those energies and you know the mantras to connect with that energy, you can then tap in to the entity and the energies of that civilization, and they will come forward. I'm not saying that they'll come forward straight away and talk through you, but through time and you building up the energy, because it's a very high dimension energy. So you need to change your frequency to get up there, and they won't just come in and take you up there. They'll come in and just kind of like blend with you so that they know they're there, and they're changing you slowly, and you're just doing this. And then eventually they'll just come in and you get an intergalactic message. So it's a little bit like trance, but it's not obviously somebody who's been here. It's somebody from another race that's basically wanting to come forward and talk through you. I hope that clarifies it.
Yeah, I hope that
another way of using it is channeling. Another way of channeling. Yeah. That's an easy
one. She says, I hear you. Thank you. Thank you for the question, Mary. And of course, if there's any more questions, if anybody would like to put it in the comment box, then we will then transfer that over to Jordan. So it's very interesting. It is all very interesting, but it's also I feel as well it can be confusing to people too.
Yes.
You know, it can be very confusing, and I think it's something you have to, you know, just go in and just one step at a time, you know, or you can just get yourself all sort of kerfuffled, as I say, you know, and you find it then, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I don't know what this is anymore, you know. So I think it has to be done in stages, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's all very interesting because there's so much to this universe we do not understand, and we will never understand in the lifetime that we are living right now, you know. You know, it's, I mean, when you look at the sky, for instance, and I actually, Judith will know what I mean about this. You know, I was taking pictures of the clouds in the sky, different things, as was traveling down to see my daughter. And I was seeing lots of different, you know, we've seen a man we've seen some dogs that were quite relevant. We've seen one that had no teeth, which was actually an old dog that my husband had, and it was actually on his side as well. You know, so that, I mean, people would think, oh, listen to them, they're mad, but we're not. But actually, you know, it's what you can see. But yet, my daughter can look at things like that, and she doesn't see anything. You know, whereas I can see it, and I'll say, but look, there it's there. And she go, Mama, I just don't see that. You know, but she can feel. She's very good at clairsentience. She really feels, and she's very good with connecting with spirit world. But when it actually comes to, I suppose, the clairaudient part of it, you know, she just doesn't see it. You know, and there's no wrong in that. We're all working our weaknesses and strengths, and that's what makes us the people that we are. And also
but
the
we're
medium
all strong, Claire. Some of us are strong and some Claires are not so strong, and we have to build that.
Absolutely.
So we do.
And you may never build it, you know, because that is not your faculty. Your faculty is more going to be like maybe clairaudience or you know, or
build the trust and the confidence.
You know, like some people just know, you know, clairgustance as well, taste, you know, smell, that kind of thing, you know, but some people just know, you know, claircognitive, you know, it's you know, and I think, you know, there's many people, if you say to them, you know, how do you work with spirit world? You can't really pinpoint that, because you work with spirit world differently all the time.
Many different ways.
Yeah. Would you not think that, John?
I agree. I 100% agree with what you said. There's times where, you know, within a demonstration or a service, they will choose to work with me more cognitively, more audiently, more sentiently. So I won't get no visions at all. So the clairvoyance isn't there. But then other times they're like, oh, we're going to work clairvoyantly with you today, and we're going to work more auditory with you today, and we're going to work, you know, more about kind of like tastes and smells, so gushions and all that sort of stuff. And you're a bit like, oh, right, okay, why is that happening? But it's because they're wanting to level out all the other clairs that you're working with to get you to a level where they're all kind of sitting on the same equilibrium, isn't it? So like, there was a time where obviously my clairvoyance just totally went. Spirit were like, no.
Yeah, I'm the same.
No, you're relying on that far too much, Jordan. We're taking it away. Honestly, and then I was like, don't do that to me.
But like, you know, to do it on demonstration, that was worse.
You're relying on it too much, so they took it away. And then I had to change how I worked. And it was so hard to kind of like go, right, okay, I've not got that there. So then I had to really work hard to kind of like, you know, work with the other clairs. But then gradually they were like, oh, right, okay, you've got that one there, and you've got that one there. Let's bring this back in. So let's marry them all together when you're working. But they still change it when I'm working.
It's funny, though. It's funny. They do teach us, though, don't they? Yeah, they do teach us, though, and they make sure that they're the teacher. And, you know, when I remember saying to somebody, oh, I never hear spirit. No, I see, though, I clairaudiently. That's how I work, but I never hear. But on the platform, and it was in actually Glasgow Association of Spiritualist Church, and the clairaudience took away, wiped it clear, and all I could hear was just hearing. And I'm like, I'm hearing this. I'm like, oh no, but where are they? I'm like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Come on, we could have done this a practice session, you know. And I had to trust. And I went through the service trusting what I was hearing and went along the whole thing. But by the time I finished, the demonstration went well, thank goodness. And I helped the people that I was meant to help through spirit. But when I sat down, my legs, I thought, were going to buckle under me, because I thought that really did take the faith away from me, that one, you know, because it took away my right hook, really, you know.
But don't they
So,
always?
never say never.
I think they always, anything Spirit has, anything they've taught me new, it's always been either a service on live and a reading. It's always been on the spot. And there was one time I actually thought, can I have a word with you guys? And I was like, excuse me, a wee second. And I just need to go and have a wee word with these. Because I love to chat to them and they probably know what Judith, shut up. But I can't. And I went in and said, I don't think I should be doing this. I think I should just rearrange this. And they were like, nope. And I was like, no, not even a little bit. You're not going to work with me a little. No. And they made me go back. Well, they didn't make me. They said to me, go back. And you know, I learned from it and I'm glad I did. But everything they've done, I've always been out my, it's always been live. And people will say to me, you're going to do such and such. And I'm going, I really don't know at this stage. Just follow me. And we'll see. But
do you not find though you work under pressure though better to this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why maybe with us all, because we can't really back out. We just have to keep going forward and trust.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's a great way to build the trust between us and our teams, because I've learned that even if I don't know how to do something, I know if they're telling me to do it, I can do it. I just need to figure out in the way that I'm meant to do that. Yeah, I can remember they would tell me something about a candle, and I was on a live, and I remember the first time I had to try and help burst balloons in the girls' arms in America, and I was like I was doing all sorts, and I was like, I'm not grasping this, and then I understood and I learned how to help them. But I couldn't get this candle, and a lot of it is to keep us humble, because we don't get, I feel, so we don't get those egos by I can do this, I can do this, you know, it's in the sense that, okay, I know I can do that, but I don't know what to do. I'll get it, I'll go. And I think it's good sometimes to be able to say, I'm not sure, but we'll get there. And I don't know. I just think it's everything's learning, isn't it? Everything's learning.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that's what makes it so good at times as well. I work better, you know, I suppose, under pressure, and through challenges. I really do. I realise that now, but I never realised that before. That's why probably they work that way with me, you know. But I realise that is why they do. You know, or I wouldn't probably rise to it the same. But I think it all comes. It comes. They work with your character, don't they? They work with your character as well. You know. So, and there's, you know, every medium's different, and I always say,
it's good that
yeah, there's no right or wrong way. It's the way that they want you to work, and you listen to them. They are your teachers. But yes, you go to other teachers as well, and you progress from there as well. But you're taking little bits and you're planting those seeds that meant something to you through the learning and the teaching of that teacher, and you're pulling that together to make you your own medium.
That's it, your own journey. You're finding your niche, and you hit those brick walls, but you find a way around it in a way that it's right for each individual. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm very much. I always thought I was a rebel, but I don't think I am as much now, because I see a lot of people and they are finding their own ways and they are doing things differently, and I like that. I definitely probably would have been the rebel years ago. I think. So
what's coming up for you, Jordan? What's coming up for you, darling?
So obviously I'm doing this evening with you guys. I've got my own show tomorrow on SPTV at 7 p.m. till roughly about 8:30. That's every fortnight I do that. Okay. I'm at a local church in the Greater Manchester area on Thursday night. I also do my open circle on a Thursday night via Zoom. Obviously, those details are on my Facebook page, so if anybody's interested in that, you're more than welcome. Regardless of whether you're a medium or a sitter, it does not matter, and all levels of mediumship are accepted, all modalities, etc. I'm not one of them, it has to be this or whatever. Just come with, you know, the right attitude, light, love, and harmony within your heart, and be able to work in that energy, and you'll be gladly accepted. I also run currently another open circle, which is an American open circle, for a good friend of mine who's taken a little bit of a respite. So I am standing in as her host. I've been doing that for about 4 weeks, and I reckon that I'm probably going to be doing it right up until the end of this year, by the looks of things. That's another circle that's high energy and brings in lots of intergalactic messages.
It just follows you, Jordan. It follows you.
It does follow you, but I mean, obviously, there's levels. The spirit world kind of like build that up as the night goes on. You obviously, you know, it's we've got whoever here, and then as that energy starts coming in, you start getting obviously, you know, like higher stuff coming forward, as we would say. It's maybe not the right way of saying it, but then because the frequency is increased, that's a better way of saying it. Because the frequency is increased, you'll get somebody coming through, you know, from, you know, the Acturians or whatever, and saying, "Oh, I want to say this," etc. You know, they keep wanting me to go into trance when I do an open circle, and I'm the host, and I'm like, "No, you know my rule when I'm hosting. When I'm hosting, I don't bring through spiritual messages, and I don't do trance. I'm the host." Keep pushing me to do it, and I'm a bit like, okay, one day we'll do it. One day we'll agree to it.
Oh, well, it sounds like you've got quite a lot coming up then for you, which is really good. What about you, Judith? What have you got coming up?
I've been, to be honest, I have been doing a lot of purging. I've been doing a lot of closing chapters, ending things, doing different stuff. A lot of what I'm really doing at the moment is it's spiritual, but it's the nitty-gritty business side that's hard to understand. So I'm doing a lot of that in the background, and plans.
And you've also got your show, that the other one that you do as well, though. That's out now.
Oh yes, and Prophetic News. It was out last. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't had time.
Do you know their message? Again, yes, they gave predictions, but it's not my messages, they're not my predictions, they're spirits and what they want to share. But
that's Prophetic News.
Sorry?
Is that Prophetic News then?
Yes, Prophetic News. Yeah. Episode 12 came out, and the message that they have for the collective and for everyone, it's really interesting. Like really, I just love it. They blow my mind every time they do it. I'm just blown away by their what they say and their guidance. So yes, check it out, episode 12. And my new podcast is coming out soon. And I'm looking forward to that in November. It's coming out in November.
Also is mine.
November?
November. I'm adding another one on. Yes. I know. I'm adding another one on. So are you wanting to say any more about that just now, or you want to hold off?
Well, my new one that's coming out again. So everybody who knows I'll not do anything unless it's meet the spirit. You know, you laugh at me, Al, sometimes because I'll push the boundaries with spirit because they're asking me, so I trust. And if they say go for it, I go for it. I trust. When I trust unconditionally, I trust. So I am doing a new podcast, and again, it's their voice, their story. And everything. It's channeling now. I will be channeling, but it's also to help find missing people. It's very important because
Excellent.
We have loved ones who spirits say the missing are not lost. And it's sometimes there's people haven't got that closure, and that's really, really important. So it's not just that, it's also to do with what spirit wants to talk about. It's their show. It will be their show. But I believe that if we can help them people who are waiting to be returned to their family, they tell what's happened, they tell where they are, and it's also, I've been helping people find their birth parents, and it's just amazing what they can do. So again, it's to do with if somebody's looking been adopted and looking birth parents, if they've lost members of the family alive or people who have passed. So the person doesn't have to be passed, but it's to make a difference, and it's called Their Voice, Their Story.
Oh, lovely. That is lovely. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that coming out, Judith. That sounds really good. Excellent. Yeah. And that's coming out in November. So that's good. Yeah.
22nd.
And people can see it on, where is it, Spotify?
It'll be on quite a lot of places. It'll be on Spotify, Google, a lot of directories, but also it's not going to be under my YouTube channel. I know Prophetic News is under my YouTube channel, but no, this will have its own channel. It's not again, I feel it's the right thing to do. I'll start it to have its own channel, and it's spirit-led.
Right, okay, so that's on November. So everybody can we'll keep telling about that anyway. I'll just quickly, before we go into readings, Thursday. This Thursday, we've got the Halloween Psychic Mediumship Night. It will be myself doing the demonstration, and another medium called Anne Shaw. And we will both be doing that on Thursday night. Doors open at 7. It starts at 7:30, and it will finish approximately about 9:30. Okay, so anybody want to join? It's all through Eventbrite. I don't know how many we've got ticket sales left, because there's a lot booked for this, but hopefully there'll still be some sales at the door as well. Okay, any problems, just contact myself, alicetrevoro@gmail.com, if you want any more information. And just quickly as well, I'm starting my own another podcast that I've been inspired to do, and it's called Sparkle of Light Spiritual Phenomena Show. And it's really inviting any guests that would like to come on to the show who has a story that they would like to share, like a paranormal, hauntings, near-death experience, astrology, UFO encounters, anything that even seems a bit unusual, unexplained, different,
Bring it your way.
Then you come on. What I would expect though before that is if you can just give me an email with a brief outline of the story. And again, it's my own email, which is alicetrevoro@gmail.com. Just a brief outline of your story, and someone will get back to you within the next 48 hours explaining the further details with that. Now, this will be not going on YouTube as well. This is audio only, and it will just be going to all the main streams like Spotify, Apple, etc. And I think that'll be a lot easier for people, where they can just, that they're not getting seen, so they're only talking vocally, so it's a lot easier for them. And all will be needed and required is really your first name, your country of origin, and that is all that will be shared, and your story. And all guests will receive a mini reading from myself on the night, spiritual mediumship, also my oracle cards as well. Whatever I'm meant to use at that time, I'll go with what Spirit tell me to do on the night. Okay,
we're a busy bunch.
I know, but you see, this second one that I'm doing is only going to be once a month. Once a month is because I'm doing this one every week, so the other one will only be once a month. That I'll be doing to kickstart it, because there's other stuff I'm wanting to do as well. But I'll need to cool my jets a little bit, as they say, and see how it all goes. Okay, so now I would like to thank Jordan for being on the show this evening. Jordan's not leaving us, so none of you leave us. Any listeners out there, stay with us, because we will be going on to do private readings, and I'm really looking forward to that. And Judith and myself will be doing readings as well with Jordan. So I would like to just say to everyone who has been listening, thank you thank you for joining us. Please remember to like, share, it's free. Follow us and help us grow as well. And we do appreciate that. Thank you also to Judith Miller tonight for being co-host with myself and our lovely Jordan Richards. But now we will be going on. Now we will be going on to do live readings. Okay.
Great.
Good evening, and we're back again on our second part. It is the live readings at Spark of Light Spiritual Chat Show. And tonight's guest, we have our lovely Jordan Richards, who's live from Manchester this evening. And we have our spiritual physical medium, Judith Miller, who is live from Ireland. And myself, Alice Trevorrow, spiritual medium and psychic.
From Scotland.
From Scotland.
Nice from Scotland.
I thought I'm missing something out here. What is it? Yeah, Scotland.
I just thought I would add that because we all got our titles. Just had to say.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a fun night, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the night and the time that we've got with you guys. So we have a few people on, as we can see. We've got lots of people here. We've got Julie, Angela, Jeanette, Gerard, Mary, Julie, Gerard, I think I said. We've got Judith. Oh no, that's you.
That's me. That's me.
Can I just give myself a reading, please? Judith. I yourself.
I'm saying no more. Say no more. Who wants to go first?
I've got somebody singing away here, brown-eyed girl, to me. As you are talking, they're singing away. I'm trying to not dance and sing as I was listening to you.
Well, whoever wants to go first, you know how it works. You know, we've got the comments. Obviously, we don't see people. So please help us by putting the comments as well. We've got quite a few people just came in as well. Nick, Adam, Jeanette, a few other ones are coming in. So if you put in the comment box once we start the readings, and you know, just so as you can understand and me understand where we're going, if you know, yes or no, or you know, I've got a few people coming in. There's more coming in here. So if you feel whatever you feel, spirit's guiding you, whoever wants to go first, okay.
Can I go first because I keep singing?
Yeah, I won't go first because I'm still trying to work out. I'm doing a technical side here at the moment, but I will go, but not at the moment. Okay.
I'm just
Who put their hand up? Can I go first? Yeah, you can go first.
Okay.
Okay.
So, guys, I have a gentleman with me. He keeps singing "Brown-Eyed Girl." Okay. I'm really trying not to sing it, but he's really singing it like repetitively to me. Yes, I know. And he talks about August, and he talks about the 14th being relevant, but I feel I want to separate the 14th with August. The date, the 14th. He's just said September. Are you saying 14th of September? Okay, I want to say the 14th of September. And also the month of August is relevant. He does make me aware that he wasn't in a great place before he passed. He had a lovely smile. He still does, but there was sadness behind that smile. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Okay. And he talks about Mondays being relevant. Okay. He really didn't like Mondays, but he also he talks about he worked night shift. So he worked night shift. He liked to go down to the pub on a Saturday night, and he would have met up with his brother. He's telling me. For some reason, I want to ask Angela, can she take any of this? Because I've also written down Angela's name.
Okay, is the one Angela on, isn't there, I think?
I think so.
Okay. Angela, if you understand any of this, could you please put it in the comment box?
This gentleman had brown hair. Yeah, okay. I keep getting your name. So
Yes.
Okay. So the 14th of September is relevant. He keeps saying date. The date's relevant, okay? But he also talks about August being relevant. He very much wants people to know that he is in a much better place. Things were overwhelming, and I feel that he would have been under the influence of things sometimes, which would have made things even bigger. You know, they would have seemed so much bigger at the time and hard to come forward. He talks about dusk to dawn. So I feel he had his days and nights mixed up. Is that what you're trying to explain? Yeah, okay. He also talks about he could have been hard to live with. And he said sometimes he didn't know how hard he could have been to live with, but he didn't always see it in that way. He sees things a lot clearer now. He understands a lot of what he's seen wasn't as it was, wasn't real. It wasn't as it was what he thought it was. He talks about there's a mother figure coming forward in spirit, mother. And he also makes me aware that he's talking about cancer. Mary Curie were helping, and he talks about the cancer. But I also have to talk. He has met up with friends in spirit, and it's important that he wants everybody to know that things weren't really good for him before he passed on the earthly plane, but everything has changed. He sees everything so much clearer. He's met up with friends that he lost. He lost friends before he passed, and he lost them to the same similar way. Yes, he's saying. There's a strength around you, Angela, that he's bringing forward. Would you understand when things get hard for you? He comes around you much stronger. You're aware of him much stronger when things is hard. And I feel not many understood him on the earthly plane. And I feel that you were very, what's the word you'd like me to use? He's just said patient. So I'll use that word, patient. In a way, you've seen the bigger picture, but you didn't judge him for it. And he talks about guitar. I feel like I want to play the guitar. And he talks about lessons, and as he's talking about the guitar. There's another one. Okay, go ahead, please. Angela, he talks about, for Angela, please. He talks about news coming your way. After Christmas, there's going to be things changing after Christmas. All in a good way. Not the way you had hoped, but it will come around, and blessings in disguise. And I feel like I want to say there's a move coming in here. He's talking about a move. So I feel there's something that you're asking around, or you're asking for or hoping for. It is going to come, but just not you think it. So please be patient, he's saying. He also talks about football and armbands. So I feel whether he was in a football club prior to, I don't feel he was just before he passed. I feel he might have been further back, but things kind of deteriorated and he really did lose himself. But it's very important that he wants to explain things that's been happening so you can see all the healing that's taken place, all the different things that he struggled with. It's all very much now. Okay, that's okay. So he's just saying he helps people. He helps troubled people now. He tries to help guide them. He tries to help bring them comfort, and he's doing it through the experience that he when he was here and how he struggled. So he's trying to fill a gap. People don't necessarily know he's helping, but he's helping. He's very much helping them. So I do want to. I believe that he had a partner or a wife, an ex-wife, because he is acknowledging her and he is asking. It's important she knows that everything is okay now. Healed in that sense. I want to say healed in that sense. Be patient after Christmas, he says. After Christmas, try and not control how you think it's coming to you, because that's going to throw you off. Just be open to the receive, and it's coming. There's news coming to you, and there is a move, but it's not how you're expecting. So everything has a blessing. Everything has a reason and for why it goes forward. But I also want to say he understands that you're feeling quite down in yourself and at a low point. And there's new people coming into your life after Christmas, and those people will be around you more as more friendship. Not for what they can get, but for friendship, just that genuine friendship. So I'm going to leave that with you, because I know we've got Jordan and Alice, but please do know that he is around, and he's very grateful for the patience that you gave him, even when you thought it was wrong. He's very grateful for that. Very, very grateful. So I'll leave you with his love.
Okay.
So,
Angela said yes, and she's acknowledging the information that you've passed on to her. So thank you very much, Judith, for that. Yeah. If I can now go to Jordan Richards, please.
Okay, this is very different to how my show runs. Normally, I've got Richard, who's SPTV producers in the background, and he literally filters the comments, and I've got photographs. Yeah. So like literally, all I can see is the two other people.
Yeah, that's
like, good. Oh, right, this is you. Trust,
it does. Trust. It really does challenge you. Yeah.
Can you see the comments?
No.
Yeah. Can you not?
No.
Can you?
All I can see is you two guys. So I feel like, oh, okay, this is meant to be another level of trust.
Okay.
Trust.
Can you see in the right-hand corner it says comments chat?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say it should say.
You should be able to see comment box.
Hold on, one sec.
You should be able to see a comment box there.
Yes, it's right. Okay, yeah. It's not now. I don't know. It was kind of doing its little spinny thing as if it was right. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's going a bit slow, probably. Yeah, so you can see the comment box, but I'll also guide you as well.
No problem. Don't worry. I have trust and faith in my team.
All right. Okay.
Right. Okay. No problem. Right. So I know it's a gentleman coming forward, okay? And I want to say that 1942 would have been when he would have been born. I have been given the date of April the 5th. I want to link, and I know it's not his name, but I want to link the name Roger or Richard around this. But I also want to give you the name Richardson, which would be significant within the wider family. So let me just see. look at somebody's picture here. Okay. I also want to make significance here that this gentleman would have passed some time ago, from what he's gave me. He's telling me that it would have been late 1999. There would have been a decline in his health mainly to do with respiratory issues, but it would have been pneumonia, stroke, heart attack, and COPD. He's referring to his death certificate, so there were multiple factors in how he passed. So obviously the COPD and all that would have been, the underlying factors, but the heart attack would have been the one that would have taken them across from what he's telling me. The decline would have started round about May 1999, he's telling me, but he would have passed round about mid-September. He's not giving me a date, but I do want to say mid to late September, okay, with that. I have just been given the name Margaret for some reason, so you understand that Margaret would be here on the earth plane, and I do want to say that this lady would be this gentleman's sister here in the earth plane. And he's making reference to the fact that he wants to come around Margaret in relation to some of the health issues that she's experiencing. I'm getting like a dizziness, a nauseousness, but I know it's not like just nauseousness. I know that it's to do with some sort of, I'm seeing blood work, so I know that there is a need for medication here, and I feel like there's a forgetfulness with regards to this lady taking medication. And I want to say, it needs to be in a Dorset box rather than in like a pill box. He's also making reference to The Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music. So somebody's got something to do with Judy Garland here. I think that's where that connection is. Hills Are Alive, Sound of Music. Yeah, Sound of Music. Yeah, right, okay. Do you know, it's weird the way they get you, and I'm just like, all right, okay, we're going there. I felt like I was going into the Alps singing, and
Get us singing all the time.
So I feel like this Margaret would like this kind of like, older style movies, kind of like that freedom of Judy Garland, like swinging her bucket and all the rest of it, and up in the hills and Fabula and all the rest of it,
Let's see if we can get somebody to say yes or no.
Mary Moob, Ancestors Be, I can take some of this. Thank you so much. No problem. Thank you very much for giving me your comment. It makes me connect stronger with you. Right, okay. So there's something to do with obviously sitting in this energy and kind of like bringing back good times around Judy Garland and that sort of like Sound of Music and all the rest of it, because it's quite an uplifting film, even though it's got, a bit of a strange, not a strange story, but obviously it's to do with the war and, how the Germans occupied the relevant areas of Austria and all the rest of it. So as much as it's got that kind of sadness to it, I do want to say also there that would you understand a Jewish connection going back to Auschwitz? So this would be in the wider family. I want to go to Dad's side of the family with a Jewish connection somewhere. I've just been given the Star of David with that, so obviously that's where the connection is. Okay. Would you understand why I want to mention work around you, Mary? And there needs to be like a cleansing, a purging of like literally kind of standing up for yourself a little bit here and just saying no, because you're sitting in the energy of just going, yes, 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 I'll do that. And it's almost like you need to step up, step up, step up. But actually they're telling you just need to say no. Because I feel like I want to say that your employer's taking advantage of you. If this isn't with you, it's definitely somebody connected to you. If this is definitely not you, and I want to go below you if it's not you specifically. Yes, it is you, Mary. Okay. So there's something to do here, and I want to say no, but also look at other opportunities. I want to say there needs to be a move with work. Would you understand that there needs to be a move from where you are in order to actually get out of where you are? And I'm not saying change profession here, okay? I do want to say to you, move within the profession that you work in, but you need to move from the employer that you work with. That's what I'm getting with it, okay? Would you understand Texas here? I've just been given Texas, so there's either something to do with Texas, you've been to Texas, or, you know, that kind of connection to that part of America. That's interesting. I've also just been given Canada here, but I feel that that's more either a holiday that's been or a holiday that needs to be booked, or almost like, actually, now that I've just sorted that, I want to say somebody has aspirations to emigrate to Canada. Would you understand that? And I'm being told, can we fill in the relevant paperwork, please? Okay. There's no time like the present. And I'm getting a wagging finger with this gentleman, which is unusual because that's normally a woman that does that, as far as I'm concerned. But he's kind of doing this to me, you know. She needs to listen up. I do feel that that move with the emigration is with somebody younger than you. So I want to say that this is one of your kids, or like a niece and nephew. It's along that line. It's below your generation here. Okay, somebody wants to emigrate. Okay. Would you also understand why I'm getting an Alsatian that's just literally like sat at the side of me, and it's constantly giving me a paw? I feel like this dog's around yourself. It's either an Alsatian or a German, because they look similar to me. I'll just say that. But I'm being given a paw, so I feel like this dog's trying to get your attention when you're down. Okay, thank you. I also just want to say here as well, okay, just slow down with that because I can't get that. He's a fast talker, so I don't know where he's from originally, but he's definitely got a bit of a thick accent. Okay, yes, this is in spirit, Margaret. Sorry, Mary. Okay, right. Okay, do you understand why I want to say to you, you've planted the seeds, but you need to be patient, patient, patient in order for the seasons to do their job, and all will become well with the seeds that you've planted. Wait for February and March to come in, because I feel like you're waiting for something to come in there. He's not telling me what it is, but he's saying this isn't to do with something linked to your prayers. You're asking for something. So there's a change coming in. I want to say to you, you need to sit in that energy for the universe to respond to you. I also want to say to you, there's somebody in your wider circle, before I leave you, that you would understand that a door needs to be closed and it needs to be firmly bolted. So I don't allow that person to come in and overstep those boundaries with yourself. Okay. Okay. There's something to do. He's making reference to something to do with a rose bed and planter. Okay. Would you understand something to do with planting a rose bush in memory of this gentleman, please, or somebody has, and it's taken a bit of a time after the gentleman passed for it to fully flourish. So this is what he's referencing to with regards to you planting the seeds. He's saying, you know, it was planted, but the bush didn't flourish within the first 2 years. I feel it was 3 years later when it actually flowered. Okay, and I want to say it's like we're really flourishing now. And he's saying, just in relation to that, you would remember some of the little quirks that you used to come forward with, and just allow you to be yourself. I feel that this is to do with the fact that you would have had a little bit of a stronger connection with him, and he allowed you to have a little bit more freedom rather than being with other members of the family. I get the sense with him, he was a little bit more lenient rather than stern here. Okay. He's also saying to me, watch out from the penny that will fall from heaven. I've got to tell you, watch it for the next 2-3 days. I've also got to say to you, you would understand the relevance in relation to. Give me the name of the flower, please, rather than give me the visual. I'm crap with flowers. So let's see. It looks a bit like an orchid, but it's not. It's longer stemmed, and I'm not. I want to say it's like. Give me it again. Orceus or something like that. I don't know if I'm hearing that right, but it's something like that. It looks a bit like an orchid, okay? But it's not an orchid. It looks very similar, and it's from the same kind of family, okay? Seed-wise, okay? And he's saying to me with regards to just leaving you here, he wants to say to you, will you please just have that patience that's already been mentioned, okay? And I've got to give you... oh, interesting. Okay. I've got to give you the Two of Cups here. He's given me a tarot card to leave you with. Okay? Which is unusual. So Two of Cups is representative of the lovers as well, but it's also about a union in relation to that emotional side of things, because the cups represent our emotions. Yeah? So I'm just going to leave that there with you. I've got to give you... a dark chocolate ginger biscuit, definitely before I leave you. So somebody likes dark chocolate and ginger together. Okay? Please take this, that gentleman's love. I hope you know who he is, because he was adamant. He was like, no, she knows who I am. She knows who I am. And which is very unusual for me. So please take his love, and you're most welcome. Thank you very much, Mary.
Thank you so much. That's lovely. Mary could understand everything that you were saying as well there, Jordan.
Thank you.
Now I will carry on, but I will be I've got no one to write comments up, so I'm doing it all. The editing as well. So it is quite hard, but I'll do my best with it all. Okay. Right. Now I have a lady here with me. And as she came in, this lady, she's quite a jolly soul, okay, and she has got the most heartiest laugh. You know, I can hear her laughing here. She's so pleased to be here, but this is like an adventure to it. It's like a little party to her, you know, because she was quite a sociable character when she was here in this life. And I know though that her health as well, she would have had like lots of kind of kidney problems, okay, UTIs, urinary tract infections, etc. And I know that you know this. In fact, actually, I'm seeing here where a catheter would have been put in place as well. It was temporarily, she said, though it wasn't a permanent catheter, and I couldn't get rid of it quick enough. She said, I wanted it off, okay. But she does bring that in. She also gives me here as well, where she may have had a bit of problem, and I can feel it here, and she's shown it to me as well. Her left hip. She's shown me her left hip. You know, she had pain in her left hip as well. She's also given me as well the name of Bernadette, or maybe Bernie was known for short. I'm not saying it's her name, but it would be relevant. It would be very relevant to the person that I have. Okay.
So Jeanette says that's my mum.
Yeah.
That's her mum.
Jeanette Hannon says that's my mum.
Yeah.
Jeanette Hannon, right? Okay, darling. Okay. Right. That's lovely. Can I just carry on here, because I was getting all this with it. Do you know what I've also got as well? I don't know if you would understand where two sisters would be very relevant to your mum, because there's two ladies with her. Yeah, she says they're my sisters. They're my sisters. She talks about two sisters in spirit world with her. Okay, so she's given me that. She's also, is that a yes I'm getting? Yeah, I'm getting a yes. Okay, thank you. Also, bless you. Also, she's given me memories or a placing with Lancashire. Okay, so Lancashire would be relevant as well, because she's bringing in. I went there to visit. She says she didn't live in Lancashire, but she went there to visit. There was somebody there that she knew, so she's bringing that in about Lancashire. And I don't know. I've not been to Lancashire, but I'm also getting like a cathedral or something in Lancashire as well. And also I want to also say as well that your mum would have liked hymns. I'm hearing here Hallelujah, the song Hallelujah, but it's a hymn. It's Hallelujah, Hallelujah. It's that one. Okay. Am I getting a yes again? Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like Leona Lewis's version of Hallelujah.
Is it? Yeah, right. That's fine. Whoever's version it is will suit me fine.
It sounds like her. Yeah.
Because I can hear it. Can hear it really strongly. Okay. And I also, yeah, lovely. Okay. Do you also understand why she's given me Shepherd's Bush? Shepherd's Bush. Oh, your little nieces loved that song. My wee nieces loved that song. Okay. She's giving me that song, but she's also given me Shepherd's Bush as well. She's made Shepherd's Bush. Okay, she's taking me now to in and out of London as well. But she's talking about somebody here, not in spirit world, but somebody here who has been visiting around that area. Around London, okay. But Shepherd's Bush is what I heard. Okay, I heard that quite strongly as well. And I also, yeah, darling. Okay. Can you take your mum liked a good laugh, and she liked a good joke or two, I feel here. And because I feel like Christmas and New Year was something that was important to her. I also feel that it would have been big time with all the family as well, as long as our family were all around her as well. Yeah, you're acknowledging that, sweetheart. So thank you, Jeanette, because I also feel here that she's saying here. Sorry, she's just said to me, tell her I still love my minstrels. Okay, but it's chocolate minstrels. You know the chocolate minstrels? Do you know the chocolate minstrels? Do you know what she's saying? Tell her I still love my minstrels. Okay. And she's showing me a packet of chocolate minstrels. Okay. And do you also understand with mum as well? She'd have rather have had her dessert before her dinner. Do you know? And she talks about a trifle here as well. And she said, I like to eat all the things that were good for me. And she's laughing as she says that. Do you understand that? So what did she say? Yeah, okay. So you loved it. She loved the chocolate minstrel. That's fine, because she's bringing that in. Okay, and so she says I can eat as many as I like up here, and they're all free, and there's no fat in them, she's saying. And she's laughing as she says this. But also she's giving me one of these small Cadbury's cream eggs. All right, and she's giving it to you. Okay, she's giving it to you. Okay, and this is something I feel that she would have done when she was here. And I also get Easter with an Easter passing around April time as well. Been March and April I'm getting for an Easter passing, and also a birthday. Okay, so I'm getting both. So you understand? She's saying yes. Okay, that's lovely, darling. Now what I'm going to do, sweetheart, I'm still going to work with Spirit World, but I'm also going to do an angel card. Okay, and I'll let Spirit guide me through the angel card as what? Oh, there we go. That fell right out. Okay, unconditional love from mum. Okay, that's a card that just flipped right out. I don't know if you've all seen that, but it actually flew out my hand. So you've got unconditional love from the Divine Mother. Your mum has not left you, sweetheart. She's still very much around you. But you know that, she says. You know that. Because you hear her voice. She said you've heard her voice. Recently, she said. Recently. Okay? And I'll always be there. I'll always be there. And I'm looking out for you. But you know you've got a choice to make, she says. Listen to the answers that's been getting given to you. Because you've been getting some answers. She said that you're choosing to ignore a little bit. Okay? All right? She's going to help you with this. Because she said she knows. She knows it's quite hard. All right? Okay, she's also says as well that in times of need, I'll always be there. But she's also given me something as well that I feel quite strong. I want to give you an angel wish. And I haven't had that before. But what I'm getting with this is an angel wish, but I'm getting also her blowing like a kiss, but it's like blowing it to you. But at the same time, you're catching this love as well in your heart and your soul. And she's acknowledging the wish that you are sending to her, okay? But she's also saying, I don't have all the answers. You do. And I've been sending you the answers. But only you can change this. And you know what I mean by that, she says. She's also just said to me for February, she said in February next year, you'll know exactly where you're going with it all. And the light will start shining again, okay? The light will start shining again. But she's also saying just round about you just now, there's a little bit of a dark energy that will soon be getting lifted, okay? It's not staying for good, okay? But it's something that has to be learned, she says. But she said, sorry, she just said to me, remember the happy times. And she showed me a box. She showed me a box of Dairy Box chocolates. She said, remember the happy times with the box of chocolates and the TV, and we used to sit together and we used to have a good laugh. Remember the happy times, because I loved when you laugh. She said you laugh with your eyes. You laugh with your eyes really, you don't really hear your laugh, but you really laugh with your eyes. Whereas your mum, you heard her laugh and you could laugh and laugh and laugh with mum. And even if you didn't know what you were laughing at, you laughed at mum, because when mum laughed, mum went into a real kink of laughter. And she's doing it just now, and she's trying to raise the vibration and the energy, and she's giving you that love, and she's saying, please don't worry about me, because I'm free. I'm free. I wasn't free. I was being trapped in my own body, she says. But she's just said to me that she's met up with someone called Colin, somebody called Colin, and also someone called Jim or James as well. She's bringing in that name as well. But she said Colin, and then James. Colin and James. I'm hearing both of those. And I'm also getting the 12th as well of November being very relevant. The 12th of November being very relevant. So I'm going to leave you with all that, my darling, okay? Please remember you've got the unconditional love from mum, okay? I know that your mum is still very, very much around you. And my heart absolutely swells here, okay? I can feel the love, I can feel the emotion, and I can also see her laughing and smiling, but I can also see the glazeness of the tears here as well, because she's so pleased to connect with you. But remember, she says, yeah, Jim is brother-in-law. Okay, well, that's what she was giving me. Okay, so she also says, love never dies. Okay. And she said there's a book about that. There's a book about that, Love Never Dies. Look up the book that says Love Never Dies. Look up the book. Okay. Oh, she is funny. Right, okay, right. Can you also take your mum used to like books on sales because she says Amazon's got a good offer on? So she must have liked to buy things on sales, but she's talking about the books as well here. But she says love never dies, okay, and she's laughing, but you have to find this book, okay, and you'll know it when you see it, she says. Okay, I'm going to look it up as well. Okay, so I'm going to love and leave you, all right, and Merry Christmas when it comes. December's an important month as well. It's very relevant in the family. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So how are we doing? Yeah, we've got room for one more. We've got room for one more.
I have a lady, but I'm wondering, am I linking in with you? Because some of the stuff you said, so she just keeps talking. I could just keep writing. I have a lady with me, and she makes me aware she had deterioration in her kidneys, but I also feel she had a cancerous condition, and I'm not sure if that came from the kidneys or if that then affected the kidneys, but she is making me aware of that. She talks about an American baseball player. She doesn't tell me who it is. She just keeps showing me the baseball cap. I think she must have liked somebody, or yeah. She keeps referring about Clint Eastwood. She talks about Little House on the Prairie on a Saturday afternoon in front of the TV. And then she talks about Sugar Ray Lewis. Now, I laughed because I keep getting all these songs, and Jordan was talking in his message about Texas. And as he said that to his message, I was being shown Beyonce and no Texas, and then in boots, that song. And I was like, line dancing. So all of a sudden, I feel like either she did line dancing, or somebody likes that song and has been learning the dance of that song. But she also sings to me, Here We Go, Lucy Lou song. What else? She touches on Christmas. She says Christmas Eve was special. The name Elsie is important. I wrote pomegranate, but I don't think that's what you call them. The Christmas, what do you call the Christmas flower?
A poinsettia.
Yes, I wrote pomegranate. So maybe poinsettia and pomegranate is relevant because I've written, but I am talking about Christmas flowers. She's acknowledging Christmas flowers on the graves. There's more than one grave. She's highlighted graves. But she also makes me aware someone passed around December. She's saying thank you for the flowers. Somebody kept a place at the table. So whether it was a wedding or it was a Christmas family do, there was a place kept for her, and she's acknowledging that she's aware she is remembered. She makes me aware of a christening next year, 2025 boy. So I hope I haven't spoiled any surprises. Faith was christening, important baptizing. So her faith. Oh, Jordan, don't you make me laugh? Don't set me off. I'll be in the giggles. So her faith was important to her, but it was important that to her children in the family got baptized. They got christened. Can anybody take any of this? Also, she liked 3 sugar lumps in her tea. She was very specific. She liked a sweet cup of tea. And she started singing me that song. You know, there used to be an old advert, put out your cigarette, and, bedtime routine. It was like an advert. And
there you go.
That's what I'm with you again. I'm linked in with you again. So I want to say she smoked, because I feel like I want to just carry a cigarette around with me as I'm checking the plugs and turning off the kettles. And she's singing that song, bedtime routine, like ground check and everything. She also talks about the mirror. There comes my accent. The mirrors. I can't say that now. The mirror. Oh, the mirror. I'm sorry. Do you know, like mirrors, the muds,
Yeah.
How can I not get that out? The MERS. She talks about it. I feel like I'm saying a mare. I'm looking at myself. So she talks about the MERS is relevant for the bags of peat. She would have got the bags, got there in the end, roundabout for a shortcut. So she talks about the bags of peat. Also, she talks about minced onion, carrot, and potato, and lentil soup. That was her winter foods. She also gives me the name Deirdre, and she makes me aware that there's a lady in spirit who passed in her 70s, and she takes me back and she's showing me a memory. Okay, Angela, yes. Okay, we're on it. So she's taking me back and she's showing me like a cheese and pickle hedgehog.
Cheese and pickle hedgehog.
Yeah, cheese and pickle hedgehog. I used to get them at my birthday party. What's wrong with that? I just don't know how my mum done it, but I can see it was like there was something. I don't know. There was something turned inside out, and then it was like cheese and pickle on a cocktail stick, and they were put all over it, and it was like cheese and pickle hedgehog. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, because that's.
They are so funny. I love it.
Yeah, so
I just love them.
She talks about the memories and the birthday parties. And I have to say, you need to stop buying the mince pies because they're just rubbish. They're not like homemade ones. She's saying she's not a fan of those at all. She really doesn't go for the bought mince pies. But she loves licorice all sorts and her jelly babies. She has a very sweet tooth. And she's coming forward because she gave me quite a lot there and I've got through it all. But she's coming forward because she will be at this baptism, this christening next year, okay? And she is making me wear a little boy. And she is also, I know in christenings they can be like lovely white gowns, but there's blue. I know that there's a light blue in this christening outfit that the little boy's going to have. And to her, that was very important because if anything ever happened to the children, she looked upon it that they went straight to heaven, and it was important. It was just her faith. It was part of her faith that children and that were christened or baptized. So I know I've already connected for you, Angela, but this lady was very adamant. And she's been doing line dancing and everything for me tonight. She's been doing the heaps, and it's very important that she just comes forward and lets you know that she wants to acknowledge the graves that's on the flowers. They're very, very important. And about the passing around December, she knows it's changed things, and it's changed things within family. It's actually separated family, which is sad to see. She said it's distant family. And I feel she would have been the glue that kept everyone together. So it's very sad in that respect. But it's important she talks about the memories, because the memories that she has, they're just so precious. And she could just continuously keep telling me more and more and more. But I have to say she is a bit of a character. But that's who she was on the earthly plane. She was a bit of a character, and if she wanted to say something to you, she didn't sugarcoat it. She just said it, and that's the way she was. And it's she's grateful, and she's really happy because she is remembered, and she can see that she is remembered, and she can see that people actually leave a space, give a space for her, and she just thinks that's just so lovely. So I am going to leave her off with you, and please know she had a crush on Clint Eastwood. She's just said she really had a crush on Clint Eastwood. She really liked Clint Eastwood, but I'm going to leave it with you. Please know that she's just got a lot of love to bring forward, and thank you for the way you used to remember her. She's really grateful for that. Okay.
We got room for a little quick one. Thank you so much, Judith, for that. That was really great. Thank you so much. And it was very, very inspirational and enlightening. The way Spirit loved to They love
they
to
have
laugh.
a
They don't want us sad. They want us happy, and they like to
Absolutely.
bring that life back and make you remember their characters as well. You know,
It is who they are. Very much who they are.
Yeah,
You're
there
welcome,
was a gentleman. I was just oh, where did it go? Gerard. Yeah, Gerard. It would only be a quick message though, because of time. Any?
I hear Jordan shuffling.
Yeah,
I am
Jordan.
I've kind of like went back through comments and stuff like that. So
yeah. Thank you, Jordan.
Thank
you so much.
So, interesting. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a card because of time here. Okay. So this is my tarot. Okay. So this is the 7 of Cups. Okay. So this is about emotions. Yeah. But the 7 is obviously representing, obviously, you moving into the frequency of 8, which is abundance. But I do know that the 7 would be significant with the gentleman that's just stepping forward into my energy. And he just keeps repeating it. And he said it 3 times to me now. You've got this, you've got this, you've got this. So whatever you're asking for, know that basically this gentleman's there with you, trying to give you whatever it is that you need. I feel it's a little bit of strength and a little bit of courage, but I also feel there's like a bit of apprehension with yourself stepping forward with something. So I want you to ask this gentleman to step forward with you. Just connect with him in the silence, okay? Even if it's just shortly after this, live. But he is making reference to fragmented family. Yeah, before he goes, and he's saying there's a lot that needs to be done in order to bring people together, and he's wanting that to happen before the end of the year. I do feel that this needs to happen round about Christmas. I know that that's kind of like easy for me to say, but I feel like a few of you will get together before then. But I also feel like once that happens, the bigger connection of all family coming together. I feel like this has not happened since this gentleman's passed. Hopefully you can understand it. And I am getting the fact that you would understand he was here 1 minute and he was gone the next. So I do know that from that, it wasn't like a debilitating end for him. I feel like he didn't even know he had the condition. He is referencing his heart, but it's easy for me to say heart attack, but I don't want to say heart attack. I want to say, let me get this right. Okay. Would you understand that you had a cardiac arrest previously? Okay, so you had a heart scare previously. You did what you tried, and I feel like there's quite a bit of a gap between these. Okay, so you would have had a heart attack, cardiac arrest at some point earlier, but it would have been fatal towards the end because he was here 1 minute and he's saying to me, I never got to say my goodbyes. And I do want to say, with this gentleman, do you understand this to be dad, Gerald? Because he keeps referring to me saying son. Okay? And I just want to say to you before I leave, I'm with you, okay? But please do connect with them because we're all capable of this, okay? It's just being able to tap into that energy, okay? And asking it to come forward, okay? For that guidance, that love.
Saying yes to all. Yes to all.
Yeah, thank you. So I also get the sense that we're still in this grief cycle, okay? I don't know whether this is you or somebody else, but somebody is beating themselves up in an order in relation to this gentleman passing. I feel like there were a few strong words, disagreements, almost like a clash of personalities, I want to say, okay? And things weren't left on a good level. But he's transitioned over the other side, so there's no guilt here. So we need to be letting go of that. So this is either with you or somebody very close to this gentleman. I do feel it's a male though, and they're holding on to that energy. And he's saying, I've already gone. Why are you holding on to what's not here? Okay. And I am being told to give you the heart from spirit, like you know the way you do with our hands and all the rest of it now. Yeah. much love to you. I also want to give you a yellow rose here. So there would be some significance to yellow with regards to the gentleman as well. I do want to link that with the funeral, but I also want to say, would you understand a private letter going into this gentleman's coffin before he passed away? I feel somebody's put some sort of note into it. And I also feel like somebody's put like a commemorative coin of some sort in his coffin. I'm also getting that, but I feel like that's from two different people. So I don't know whether you'll know that. And I'm just being told everything that went with me, I know about. Yeah. But you need to move on, even though I'm not here in the physical. Just call upon me. I'm always here with you, guiding you. Okay? Okay. He also wants to make reference, before I definitely leave you, would you understand the name Jean around that's connected to the gentleman, please? And I also want to say to you here as well that there have been slightly darker times of recent, but you would understand that the mist, as I call it, that has been slightly dark, and you're in that darker energy, and things are not great, but it's starting to lift. Okay, things are starting to come through. I feel like I want to give you a sunflower and say that the sun is now coming in and evaporating those clouds, and there is a clear path in front of you. Hopefully, you understand that. I feel that there's been a few obstacles in your path.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you so much. And yes, he has agreed to everything that you've said as well.
Thank you so much.
You got a lot of yeses with it also. Yeah, and he said yes, that's right. You know, so yeah, that is lovely. And then yes, someone has also said that was his Uncle Paul coming there.
Just a bit of blending.
Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah, so lovely, absolutely lovely. And I would love to just thank you very much, Jordan, for being on the show. It's been great, and the energy has been electrifying. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely energy, isn't it?
Yeah. So thank you for joining us, and I will get you back on again next year at one point.
Absolutely.
I definitely will. Yeah.
Feel free to invite me. It's been absolutely fun as always. It's always nice to just sit on this end of it, which is a bit of a change for me, because tomorrow when I do my own show, I'll be sat like where you two are and be like, you know. So it's interesting that I've kind of like done this from this point of view, but it's been nice. It's been lovely. It's been a great energy, very high energy, lots of fun and laughter. And to the two people that, I know I was definitely connected more to Gerard there, but to whoever else, is it Jeanette that you said that was Uncle Paul, please take what you can. Sometimes there is a blending in spirit, and also there are familiar.
I think he knows. I think she knows his Uncle Paul, because she said that's his Uncle Paul coming here. Yes, so she's just that's his Uncle Paul coming.
Right, got it. Sorry, that's me. I'm putting the glasses now. You see that I need a new prescription. My goodness.
It's been a good night. It's been a good night, and I love it when it's high vibes and it's all you know.
I mean, when you connect and they're just coming through on that higher frequency, it's just beautiful, isn't it? I mean, that's the beauty of what we do. You know, it is.
You know, and you just you never know. You know what the night's going to bring. You know, and it's been all good humor. But you know something that I did notice. An awful lot of sweets tonight.
Yeah.
Songs. I got. And here, do you know what, Alice? They actually got you singing tonight.
Yeah.
They actually had
You know, I actually forgot this is going out. I forgot this is actually going out live.
So, guys, if anybody's listening to this on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, if you'd like to hire Alice for your Christmas carol, solos, anything like that, she even does jingles, adverts. You know, just give her a shout. Her website's in the link. She's hired. You know, I'm manager. Just contact me. I'll book her.
Do you know, I think it's time for us to say, I think it's time for us to say good night and see you all again next week. And stay safe and look after each other. Good night.
Absolutely.